Jai Hind everyone. I, Dr. Sarika Tyagi, Associate Professor, Swami Vivekananda Bharati University of Law. And today we are going to discuss the topic preemption, or we can call it as Shubha. First, we should know what is Shubha. This doctrine of preemption or the Shubha is based upon the Muslim law text, and it is well-founded principle in India. In the words of Mullah, the right of Shubha or preemption is a right which the owner of an immovable property possesses to acquire by purchase another immovable property which has been sold to another person. The foundation of this right of preemption is the human desire to avoid the inconvenience and disturbance which is likely to be caused by the introduction of a stranger into the land. So we can say what is the object behind this right to Shubha or the preemption right. We can say to avoid the stranger or to avoid the disturbance in a particular land, this right of preemption arises. The Muslim law of preemption is to be looked at in the light of the Muslim law of succession. And under Muslim law, death of person results in the division of his property into fractions. If an heir is allowed to dispose of his share without offering it to other co, then it is likely to lead to the introduction of a stranger into a part of the estate, which result in the difficulties and inconvenience. That is why this preemption right or right of Shubha is made in the Muslim law. There are certain definitions how this preemptory right was originated. As according to Hidayah, a neighbor has a right superior to that of a stranger in lands adjacent to his own. The right of Shubha holds in a partner who has not divided off and taken separately his share. The neighbor of a house and the neighbor of the land has a superior right to those lands, and if he be absent, the seller must wait his return. But as according to Imam Shafi, Shubha is repugnant to the qiyas. Thus, the right of Shubha is feeble right, and it is granted in India only after looking into the circumstances and completion of formalities. So, to this right, we cannot say it is a absolute right or it is a very stronger right. But if we see all the formalities, all the things, then we found that it is a feeble right, but it is has certain weightage in the India. In Muslim law. Now we should understand who are the parties to the preemption. Parties to the preemption are vendor, vendee and the preemptor. Vendor, we can say the seller of the property or the owner of the property, and vendee, the buyer of the property or the stranger to the property. Who will be the preemptor? Preemptor, he can be a co-sharer or the co-heir, or we can say the neighbor of the land. What is the nature of this preemption? As I have told you that object behind this preemptory right is to avoid the stranger from the on a particular land. So what is the nature of preemption? Nature of preemption is law of preemption imposes a limitation or disability upon the ownership of property to extent that it restricts the owner's unfettered right of transfer of property and compels him to sell it to his co-heir or neighbor as the case may be. But as I have told you, it cannot be the absolute right. So we can say if a person who has a preemptory right, he has a right, but if a property 1 करोड़ की है और जो प्रियम्प्टर है वो कहे कि मेरा राइट है और मैं तो इस प्रॉपर्टी को जी 10 लाख या 20 लाख में खरीदूंगा, सो दैट कैन नॉट बी. सो दिस राइट has a certain limitation also, certain restrictions also, but if we see, so a person is having a right. The person who is a co-sharer in the property or owns property in the vicinity gets an advantage corresponding to the burden with which the owner of the property is settled, even though it does not amount to an actual interest in the property sold. We can say, or we have seen that it is an established view that the right of preemption is not a mere right to repurchase. It is akin to legal servitude running with the land. The right exists in the owner of the preemption tenement for the time being, which entitled him to have an offer of sale made to him whenever the owner of preemptional property desired to sell it. Or, as I just tell you, that it is not only a mere right to purchase, but it is a right of substitution also. Right of substitution entitling the preemptor by reason of a legal incident to which the sale itself was subject to stand in the shoe of the vending in respect of all the rights and obligations arising from the sale under which he has derived his title. The right of preemption or shufa is a right to acquire by compulsory purchase in certain cases immovable property in preference to all other persons. The law of preemption creates a right which attaches to the property, and on that footing only it can be enforced against the purchaser. Thus, the right of preemption in that sense is right in rem. There are we can see in law, there is a right in personam and right in rem. When we talk about the right in rem, so it is a right against the society, not against the individual one, but it is against the right in public. So its exercise from the time it arises up to the time of the decree is restricted as a personal. So now the question arises, when this kind of right arises. The right arises only in case of sale, and it does not include sadqa, hiba, inheritance, bequest of lease, in perpetuity, waqf, or we can say the wasiya. Only when the sale is complete, when the price is paid to the seller by the purchaser. So these are the two circumstances when we can say that this right arises. When in case of sale, and only when the sale is completed. What is the nature of this right? Nature of this right is, it is a preferential right. Means it gives certain preference to the person whose land or whose land is adjacent to the another person's land, or if a person is a co-sharer. So such persons are having a preferential right. In that way we can say it is a preferential right. It is not a right to repurchase. It is a right of substitution. It is attached with the land like right to easement. A legal servitude running with the land. Now, who can preempt? Who can consider that as preempt? Number one, only person in Shia, that is called as Shafi Sharik. Second one is Shafi Khalid, and third one is Shafi Zar. So these terms are used for the preemptors. Number one, Shafi Shari, second, Shafi Khalid, and third one is Shafi Zar. If we talk about the Shafi Sharik, so we can remember by this word Shafi Sharik. Sharik means शामिल, a person जो कि शामिल है किसी चीज में, like only person in shares, we can say co-sharers of the property. Co-sharers are शामिल हैं वो उस property में, उनका हिस्सा है. So in that way they are called as Shafi Sharik. Second one is Shafi Khalid. Khalid is word from the term khalal. Khalal means dakhal, जो कि दखल रखता है. A participator in the immunities and appendages. So we can say a person, anyhow he has certain interference in that property, he can be considered as Shafi Khalid. And third one is Shafi Zar. Shafi Zar, a neighbor. A neighbor is considered as Shafi Zar. So you can remember these three Muslim terms, or we can say the Arabic terms by this meaning, like शामिल है, जो खलल रखता है, या जो कि neighbor. What are the rules for preemption? As I have told you, this is a preferential right. So this Shafi Khalid get preference over Shafi Zar. The right arises after the sale. We can also discuss certain problem later on related to, like you can better understand by the problems also. So we will discuss these problems later on. And third one is the right does not arise if suit is brought with an incompetent party. Now we should know what are the requisites of enforcement. Requisites of enforcement are: number one, party competent to preempt; number two, subject of preemption; number three, formalities. Parties, when we talk about the parties of means the party should be competent, so obviously the parties which are capable for the contract. In that way we can understand the parties who will be the competent, means he must be a major, sound mind, etc. Then subject of preemption, it must be immovable property and must be preempted as a whole. Third, formalities. There are certain formalities for that. Again, certain Arabic terms are used, like talab-e muvasibat. Second one is talab-e-ishad, and third one is talab-e-tamlik. These three words are related with the demand. Means there is a requirement of formality of the demand, that a person who want to preempt a property, he has to make certain demands. First demand, that is talab-e-muvasibat, that is related with the immediate demand. Means whenever a person has an intention to take or to preempt the land or preempt the property, so he has to make a demand. Later on, it may be possible कि जैसे ही एक व्यक्ति ने इमीडिएट डिमांड की, लेकिन दूसरा व्यक्ति उसकी डिमांड को उसने सोचा, अरे ऐसे ही इसने बोल दिया कि मुझे प्रॉपर्टी लेनी है, मेरी जरूरत है, फलाना ढमकाना. सो फॉर दैट ही हैज टू मेक अ कंफर्मेटरी डिमांड कि नहीं भाई मैं ये प्रॉपर्टी लेना चाहता हूँ, कंफर्म कर रहा हूँ. सो सेकेंडली ही हैज टू मेक अ कंफर्मेटरी डिमांड. एंड थर्ड, talab-e-tamlik means demand for the possession. So these are the three formalities, or we can say the formalities में ये तीन डिमांड एक पर्सन को की जानी जरूरी है यदि वो चाहता है कि वो अपने प्रीएम्प्टरी राइट को यूज करे, वो लैंड लेना चाहता है. सो ही हैज टू मेक दीज डिमांड्स. सो दीज आर द रिक्विजिट्स फॉर अ प्रीएम्प्शन. When the right is lost, this preemptory right may be lost. When, in case of the death of preemptor, waiver of right by the preemptor, If he fails to perform formalities, मैंने अभी आपको formalities बताई, that he has to make certain formalities if he want to preempt the property. So if he fails to perform these formalities, so he will lose his right. And when the preemptor join with the co-plaintiff who has no right to preemption, then in that case also his right will be lost. And when he fails to perform demands. When preemptor releases the right for consideration, जहां उस व्यक्ति ने कोई consideration ले लिया है और अपने right को release कर दिया है, then also he will lose his right of preemption. When preemptor transfers his land to the stranger. So these were the certain formalities, or we can say the requisites, and there were certain circumstances in which the right will be lost. So we have understand what is preemption, what is the object behind this preemption, what is the nature of the preemption, and what are the requisites which a preemptor has to complete if he want to take the property or if he want to use his preemptory right. Thank you so much.